right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 owners on board so far. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started, so I don't want to waste everybody's day. It shouldn't take too long, just a little bit quicker than last year's. This is being recorded, so if anybody wants to look at it, or the people who couldn't attend, they'll be able to listen in and find out what the latest stuff is going on. The current houseboat status, I'm going to hold off on that until Josh logs in, and he'll give us an update. I can give an update of what's going on, but I'd rather hear it from him. That way we can ask him direct questions. But right now the boat is out of the water in dry dock in Josh's boat yard. I've actually seen it. I flew up there and checked it out. It's just sitting in the lot there. The one thing you guys should know, which I didn't tell anybody yet, but I'm telling you now. So when the boat was pulled out of the water, it's pulled out by a company. That's all they do. Gunsight Marine. That's what they do, and they have to take it through town to get it to the dry dock. Well, they went around a roundabout, and they didn't quite navigate properly, and the houseboat came in contact with a sign on the roundabout and scratched the side of the boat where the glass is and broke several panels of the glass. And so we have about, I think, 2 panels of glass that are broken and about 3 or 4 panels of glass that are scratched. So I believe that was supposed to be done either yesterday or today. I held off paying Gunsight, waiting for this repair. So that's the status of the glass, but it is what it is. It happens. The other thing which was interesting that I didn't know about, and Josh told me, was in order to take that boat into town, it cannot exceed a certain height. It cannot go into town if it's over this particular height. Well, our boat happens to exceeds the height limit to go into town. So Josh had to cut the top off of the boat in order for it to fit. Now, that sounds bad, but there's these fins that stick up on the side of the boat. They're just cosmetic. And so he cut those off, and that allowed about that much of the boat to be cut off, and allowed it to go into town. So anytime this boat in the future will ever need to go into town, it complies with the height requirement. So I told him to cap off those cutoff points. It's just basically cosmetic anyways. They don't serve any purpose. But now we are compliant with Page, Arizona's height requirement to get the boat in and out of the water. Okay, let's move on to the new owners for 2025, which I'd like to recognize. We had Ted and Jan Quigley, and Monty and Dottie Walsh, and Chris and McKinney Gregerson. Welcome. For those that are here, glad to have you. Been a pleasure so far. Everybody's seems like they're having a great time. Let's go on to finances real quick. At the end of 2025, we had, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, good. We had on the checking account about $3,465.05. That's all we had. That's actually pretty good. I would have liked to have more. That was cutting it a little close. Oh, here comes Josh. I'm going to admit him. Okay. Let's see. He's about 30. Hey, Josh, can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you, Josh. Got unmute.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Josh, welcome. So
Now you
we
got me.
are about 5 minutes into the meeting, and we held off on the current houseboat status. What I did tell him was it's in dry dock, and I did tell him that it is got the broken glass due to the roundabout fiasco and Gunsight doing that. And that is all I've got. So I would love for everybody to hear from you what the rest of the status and what you've done so far to the houseboat this year.
Cool. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Good. So we've here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I have a few pictures, but not very many. Sharing is not turned on. All right. I just sent a request to share my screen with you guys.
Got it?
All right. And you have it. You guys have my screen?
Um, no.
I'm
No.
still just
Okay.
seeing you.
Oh, strange. All right. Give me 1 second. Share. Let's see. I want to go. All right. How's that? Can you guys see me now? My screen?
Us share screens are. Oh,
Yep.
yep.
So what we've done so far, let's see. There it is. Okay. You guys can see that okay?
Yes.
I can't. You can, but I can't. So here's kind of what we've done so far in a nutshell. So your windows coverings, your screens are taken down and they're built, but they're not installed yet. I'll show you some pictures. We've deconned everything, of course. Well, I can't see my screen. I got a thing in the way here. Oh, here we go. We've replaced both your transoms. We of course rebuilt your starboard long block. We repaired your pocket doors. That plate you guys have asked about up top on the captain's helm, we've also replaced that. The 2 volt, two 6 volt house batteries. Well, you guys can see that, right?
Yes.
All right. We also painted a trim, Whitney. We found some trim paint in there, so we went ahead and used it, but we didn't charge you for it.
Thank you.
You've got your generators tip top. Your new starter is on. I didn't add that on there. I need to though. Your port engine, of course. I want to talk about your port engine. It's old and it's tired, so we're gonna have to be really careful with that. We've changed the timing belt. I put new injectors in there, Whitney. I kept your old ones because they tested good, so we'll just make a trade. We did put a new turbo on it. The turbo, well, we did put a new turbo on that one. The one you guys bought failed, but I'm hoping they'll warranty it. We replaced all the pulleys and replaced the timing belt tensioner. Now, with that said, we're going to have to take really good care of this engine. We're going to have to run it easy because if this thing goes bad, if it has a catastrophic failure, there are no more of these engines to buy. You'll be stuck with a complete repower.
So let me stop you right there real quick, Josh. Let's talk about that a little bit more in detail because this was a decision I had to make was do we fix what we have or get new engines? And so the Mercury 170 horsepower diesel engines are German-made VM Motori engines. And Josh was telling me that they don't have parts for these things anymore. Can you go into more detail about that, Josh?
Yeah, so they're what they call a gray market engine, and this is totally legal, and it bothers me, but it is legal. So they're orphaned. So what orphaned means is there's one or more parts that are critical to the operation of the engine itself that can't be purchased. They can only be built, and you're lucky to even get them built. So what makes them orphaned is the tensioners. The timing belt tensioners makes them orphaned, and also the circulation pumps make them orphaned. They don't exist. You can't buy them. You can't build them. I mean, I was able to find some in Italy. That's why I was able to replace the tensioner and also the water pump. We changed the water pump on that starboard engine too. The circulation pump, the one inside the engine, not your all water pump. So I do have a couple of spares for you guys if we need them. But we just have to find a way to really take care of that engine. We're probably going to move to servicing it every 50 hours. And I'm going to put some operating instructions on there for you guys. We need to not run that engine hard. I'm thinking, 2,200 RPMs tops. And I'll put some nice operating instructions on your portal and on the helm of the boat. We just have to be really careful with it because if it goes, you're going to be stuck with a repower. And I'm doing one now for a new customer. Same engine, same boat. We're putting two Yanmar 190s in there.
Oh, you can put
And
you
what's
can do a
that?
190 in that
Yeah, we're doing 190s and the one we're repowering now.
because you talked about a 150 going in on ours.
Well, the 150 would be just fine. The only reason I went with the 190s is because they're here in the US. They're available. I was able to get them the same day. So the 150 and the 190 Yanmar blocks, it's the same exact block. It's just different turbos, different injectors, things of that sort. So same weight, same size, same everything.
Can I
Oh,
can I ask a question real quick? So what did we end up doing with the starboard then? Because the starboard was the one we had the catastrophic failure, right?
so you guys bought the long block and then we built it and it's installed in the boat.
And we
Okay.
got the last block in the country, apparently.
You did.
Okay.
You
So
did.
so that's the same. So that's the same engine. It's just that it's been rebuilt.
Yeah, it's technically a brand new engine. So the engine's
Oh,
new,
okay.
but just everything externally, turbos, injectors, starters, water pumps, things like that. We just took off the old engine because all that stuff is incredibly expensive. As you know, Whitney, how much that stuff
Yes.
costs.
So I think the point
Um,
here that Josh is alluding to is that we have potentially the last engines alive, and we have to take care of these engines, or else we will be forced to abandon this engine project and go to a completely different brand, which is the Yanmar and 190s or the 150s.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I made the command decision to, since we had so much money into the engine already, for that's the starboard I'm talking about, to just continue on with the progress, and we have two original engines. So there you go.
And we'll get a lot of life out of it. So what causes those engines to have a catastrophic failure that I've learned because we've had two, me personally, we've had two engines have a catastrophic failure this past summer. Both of them on boats just like yours, both of them with over 1,000 hours, and both of them were caused from one of those orphaned parts that I was telling you about. So I think on your boat it was I can't remember what it was. I'll have to go back and look. I think it was the water pump. Or no, it was the tensioner on
Yeah.
Liquidity. On the other boat, it was the water pump. So what happens is it's an interference diesel engine. So when that timing belt skips, and it's that your water pump's on the timing belt, so is your fuel pump. If it skips time, it destroys the block. You can't save it. It's done. So the reason they do fail that I've learned is because of the timing belt, the water pump, the fuel pump, or the tensioner. So that's all replaced on your port engine. So I'm hoping we'll get another 1,000 hours out of it, but it's still old and tired, and we have to take care of it.
Good.
Yeah, and if we're running that, do we think the power levels are going to be about the same then on, because if we're running at 2,200 RPM, I mean I was typically running 27, 2,800 RPM on both, right? So that is, I mean, that's going to be a little bit in limp. I wouldn't call it limp, but it's going to be substantially less than what we were running before across,
Well,
right?
it won't make a lot of difference, Dan, to be honest with you. You're not going to go very fast no matter what. And if you need the power, you can use it. That port engine will turn up as high as you want it to go. Just try not to if you don't have to.
Yeah,
I mean, if you
okay.
get in a situation and you need it, by all means, use it. Your new engine is going to turn up to 4,000 RPM, so we have to be careful with that too.
Yep.
Um, so 2,200 RPMs, 27, 28. You're not going to make much better time, but of course you have wind and elements to contend with. The power will be there if you need it. You just want to
Yeah.
be careful with it. Yeah. We also went ahead and did the break-in service on the new engine just to get it out of the way. We did it here on the beach. It's an all-day deal. You run it at certain RPMs for this long and certain RPMs that long. So it's broken in now. So we serviced it again, before it goes back. And if we take really good care of it, I think, and I'm gonna have to run that by the marina too, because they're the ones that are really hard on it.
Yeah, they
I
are.
think I
Those
think
guys,
we'll get a lot more time out of it. Yeah.
they don't care what they do to the boat. I've watched them. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, it is. They're on the dash. They're all or none. And it's hard on a boat. These are big boats. They're heavy.
Yep.
So we just have to, as long as we take care of it, I think we'll get a lot of life out of it. I think we'll get another 1,000 hours because of those internal parts that we changed. What else do I have here for you? We cleaned up your hull. We're not finished with it yet, but it looks pretty good. I don't know what you guys think about the hull.
It looks good. Now,
Oh,
that shows the windows fixed, or is that the other side?
no, this is a different boat. This is the one we're putting the Yanmars in.
No, I mean the windows on our boat.
Well, that you wanted them on the second deck, so they're
No,
they're
no, no.
off.
Not the screens, the broken windows done by the sign from Gunsight that screwed it up.
Oh, they tried to save some money, I guess, and they tried to buff them out, but I didn't think it was up to par. I could still see it, so I told them to order all seven instead of just the two. So they did. Two are here. The other seven might be here, so we just have to install them. And it'll only take us a day once we do install them. And I'm going to have them install them since they broke them.
Okay.
So two of them are here. The other five, I'm not sure yet. I'm pretty sure they're here. I'm not 100% certain. Let's see. I thought I had more pictures than that. Maybe not. We don't have a whole lot left to do right now. We're just kind of taking our time, and if we see something that we can make better, then we do. All the big stuff is completely finished.
So we've got the screens on the second floor. Those are going to be done shortly. The door jambs that were off track are done and just need paint.
Mhm.
Let's see. The windows are getting fixed. Generators seem to be running good. We got that finally figured out. That's about it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything's completely serviced, so we can put it back in the water now. But there's still a few things I want to do just to kind of make things better
Yeah.
and get those windows and screens on. So,
Okay. Well, anybody have any questions for Josh? Thank you, Josh. That was
oh, you're
nice
welcome.
brief.
Oh, and I got you guys another jet ski rail, by the way.
You have what?
We have another jet ski rail for you. We put on board.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so you'll have that too. I think I sent you the bill already.
So does that mean we have three rails, or did we have a problem with one of the two?
Well, you guys are missing one, and I think you borrowed one from another boat or something like that. I can't remember how everything went. And then there was put back, so we built another one for you. Somebody lost one at some point.
Yeah, we did lose a rail. They happened to know the houseboat down the road and stole that one for temporarily, but then Josh figured it lost, so he went to put a new one on that boat, and he didn't know what was going on. So,
Yeah, I built him one, so yeah.
Well, I mean, but Whitney, like whoever lost the rail, right? I mean, this is one of those things where over the years we've had, somebody that does damage or has lost something or whatever. That should be the responsibility of that owner.
Yes, that will be that's the responsibility of the owner, and that's in our operating agreement. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
I do have a couple questions while Josh is still on. This is Rick. Is this a good time?
Sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just looking at some issues kind of when we got off the boat from our last trip, whenever that was last year. Just want to run through them really quick. Whitney, I probably would have passed these on, but I'm just curious. So really quickly, couldn't open the zippers on the second level up on the front. Is that something that we care about or have fixed, or something for later?
Yeah, we're replacing the entire screens up there, and we're putting two big
Okay.
U-shaped windows in it for you.
Fabulous. Okay.
So
the rear.
The theory behind that was I wanted to do that last year, but we kind of ran out of money. But this year we finally got enough money to fix it, and we're putting you know how there was a zipper from the bottom to the top, and you had a hard time putting them together to put the zipper on. This time we're doing a U-shaped zipper. So in order to see through the screen while you're driving, or to allow the wind to come through, you unzip it all the way this way, and it just, you roll it up and then you can view out. So we'd have, what, two of those, Josh, one on each side?
Yes, they're two big ones, and they're really nice. They're easy to operate. I wish I had a picture to show you, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. That sounds great.
Yeah,
Okay.
and by the way, I just want to weigh in on that because that's the second time we've replaced I mean, I know this is the first time we've gotten the U, but this is the second time since we've been owners that we've replaced those screens. And those are a common problem if people aren't closing them up, on a regular basis, and if they're just leaving them up and flapping while they're operating the boat, et cetera, that's going to lead to us having to do it again. So, you know, it's just good common sense to not leave them undone. Um, so
So yes, so the theory is we don't unsnap them at all. We leave the screens completely attached. All we do now is unzip and rezip. Please do not unattach the screens from the front because you'll never get them back on again.
Well, I mean, we can install them to where you can't unsnap them. Your only option will be the U-shaped windows. That's it. Yes, and they're nice windows.
I
We'll do
mean,
that.
honestly, Josh, if that's an option, I would say I would vote for that because
I would too.
Oh,
There's
then
no reason
that's
to
what we'll do
unsnap.
then. Yeah.
Okay.
Snaps always get broken. People rip them off in a panic and you're done.
Right.
And nobody wants to put them back in, and nobody wants to pay us $150 to button them back up, you know?
Right.
Okay. So the next thing I had on my list was the rear camera monitor wasn't working on the second deck helm.
Yeah, I looked into that and it does actually work, but there is a formula which I haven't quite figured out of button pushing, and it works. So it does work.
Okay.
It's just, and then it's upside down, and then you have to reverse it. It's a little bit of a convoluted way of doing it, but it does work.
I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
I've never noticed that, but I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay. A big one was the fuel gauge on the toy tank not working. You have absolutely no idea how much fuel's in there. Is that something
Sorry, we already fixed that for you.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
And then let me see if there's anything else I had while we've got the main guy here, Mr. Josh. Let's see. And my list. Okay. Okay. That's all I had from the summer trip. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for taking care of all that stuff.
Thanks.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
can I jump in with one?
Sure.
The main sliding glass door in the back, did that get fixed?
Yes, it did.
We fixed that on our trip. This is Rick. Yeah, it's not perfect new, but it's simpler and it'll always work. It's missing
Hey, we
some
like
hardware.
that. If it's simple and it works, that's great.
Yeah. It's missing hardware, but it works.
Okay, it seemed like it was like impossible to slide the entire time we were out there.
It's working really good now.
Yeah, that is now fixed.
Okay, great.
Anybody else? Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Great job. You're doing an awesome job with our boat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Whitney, and I hope you guys noticed your fascia. We redid it. We
Yes.
just redid it. Yeah. So
Right on.
Let me ask on that. So the fascia was the complete fascia then this year in the off season we did that, or
yeah, I did like the job they did, so we just completely redid it.
okay. Yeah, that was I was gonna say,
Yeah, that was horrible. So it looks wonderful now. We tore it all down and we started over, and I made the folks come help me a little bit while we did it. So
okay, good.
yeah.
All right, Josh. Thanks for your time. We'll see you later.
All right, you guys have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, the back to let's see, the finances. As I said, we've got at the end of 2025, we had a little over $3,400. That's good. Profit and loss for last year, we ended up a profit of $591. So that was really close, too close for comfort, in my opinion, but it worked out. Now, full transparency here. I did have to loan I personally loaned Liquidity Houseboat $20,000. We had some bills to pay, and the money had not come in yet, and I had to pay that. I had to do something. It's perfectly within my right to do that as the manager. I have since paid myself back, and now we're starting a new year, and we're off and running, so we're good. And I've sent you all the balance sheets, profit and loss, and all the maintenance items. And just by the way, I'm a very transparent parent kind of guy. If you ever want any documentation on anything, I am a organization freak, and I've got more documents than you can imagine. I've got every invoice that was ever done by Josh. I've got every list of everything that was done on this boat. So please reach out if you have any questions about the finances or anything. I got it all organized. We spent $82,000 on maintenance last year, by the way. The year before that, I think it was 100 and something. Let's see.
Yeah,
In
because that was the year
2024 we
had to
spent
replace it.
109. No,
Yeah.
106,000 we spent in 2024. So we had generator issues and other issues. This year we spent 82,000 ish. Okay, right now I don't think we're going to need a special assessment, but I have to say if something goes wrong with the boat, a big ticket item, then I'm going to have to call for it because we do not have a special account for the rainy day items and big ticket items. We just never have gotten that established. Nobody seemed to care one way or the other, so we're doing it as needed. So we should have enough money to take us through 2026. But I will say the caveat is I may need to do a special assessment if something goes wrong. But I'm not with Josh at the helm, as you could say, he's on top of everything. And now he's going to do a 50-hour check on the engines. I think we're going to be fine. The insurance, this insurance thing is a pain in the neck because you never know what it's going to go to the next year from year to year, and it went up 22%. That's $3,700, which from one year to the next, and it's just crazy. It's, overall the industries, aviation is crazy, boating is crazy. It's just insane, and I can't guess about. So I'm anticipating next year, January, we're going to have an increase in dues to compensate for this increase because I'm going to anticipate another 20% next year, and it'll happen indefinitely. Any questions so far on finances or anything?
Nope.
Okay. The fascia, just so you know, last year in 2025, the fascia was $21,000, almost $22,000. The engine block was $16,000. That's the starboard engine. We had to get two transoms. So the transoms are the back end of the engine that goes in the water. That's from basically the what do you call it? It's not the bulkhead. It's the
Just
there's a name for it. Where it separates the engine from the outdrive. That whole aft part was loose on both sides of the boat. So we have two new transoms on that boat that was $13,000. The starboard engine, 11,000. We had to put, as you heard, about pulleys and belts and pumps and so on and so on. Beach bags. I've been using beach bags for 2 years now. I absolutely love it. The open orders will begin on February the 17th. So you want to get your order in on or about that day because they fill up. And you can choose the time. It costs about, it was $2,161 for me. And I highly recommend it. It's worth it. There's the disadvantages is you can't move from one location to the next, but the advantage is you can sleep a hell of a lot better at night. I can tell you that. Josh has got jet skis, ski boats, foils for rent. We used one of his foils. That was an interesting 7 days of fun with that. Only 2 of us got to stand up on it, and it was not me. Okay, no swimming in the marina. Okay, this is a kind of a bummer but it's a safety thing. We cannot swim. You cannot get in. You cannot put your foot in the water in the marina. You cannot do it. If we do get caught, we can lose our slip agreement, and we will be forced to go to Waweep and park out in the bay. So please, if I know kids want to jump in the water, sometimes I do. I'd love to jump in the water. Please don't do it. We're going to get in trouble, and who knows how many cameras they got. I've been warned with several emails about this, so the notice has been out there. So I'm telling you
And
now.
by the way, it is a massive safety issue. Back in Kentucky, I think last year there were several fatalities. Electric, because that electric current hits the water and they're cooked.
Yes.
So it was a tragedy. I think there was like 6 kids that died while swimming in a marina in Kentucky. So it's just, more important than getting kicked out is like you're literally it's a
Yep.
massive safety issue.
Exactly. And it's difficult because if the boat's stranded in the dock and you want to still having a good time, you're in the dock, but it's like, oh yeah, the water is so tempting just to jump in, and you're just like, no, I can't do it. Got to get in your boat or jet ski, go past the breakwater, and then jump in.
Yep.
Okay, selling your share. If you ever decide to sell your share, you have got to go through Apex. That is a mandatory requirement. It's in the agreement. It's in the slip agreement. We have to go through Apex. You can also go through other people as well, but the final product has to go through Apex. And if you don't, we get either fined or we lose our slip agreement. So just keep that in mind. I can help you with that process if you ever need that. The next topic is the new manager. So, speaking of selling, we are selling our share, and I told everybody about this a while ago, but we are selling our share. We bought a brand new boat, and we are looking to get rid of our share. We currently have it on the market for 110,000, which is actually more than what we paid for it. So I think the market is strong. I'm hoping we're going to get close to that. We may have to come down a little bit, but if you know of anybody who wants that share, it's a 10-day share rather than a 7, which is why it's so high. So anyways, yeah, we're selling our share. You guys are going to need a new manager. That's my position. Now, my duties involve writing checks, making phone calls, emails, keeping track of the boat, making sure it's legal with Utah, that kind of thing. It has gotten a lot easier since Josh took over the maintenance items, because he's on board and taking care of all that. I don't have to spend time messing around with it, but I still have to pay the bill. Don't have a problem doing that right now, and I'm doing all of this for free, although it is allowed in our operating agreement that I could be compensated by I could forfeit my the money that I have to pay into the maintenance dues, and that would be entitled to the next manager as well. So there is some incentive to that. I have not taken that. I just because I want to take the boat needed the money at the time, and I said, forget it. It's okay. So somebody has got to step up. If we sell the boat and I'm gone, I'm going to relinquish it over to nobody. So somebody's got to step up. Maybe you want to share duties. Maybe there's two owners that want to share the duties. Somebody or three people for all I care. But somebody has got to step up and take over, because when I'm gone, it'll be a big learning curve. So I'd rather transition someone slowly right now. I will help them all the way through and be open for communication at all times. Let's see. Rick, are you on? I wanted to get an update on the Sonos and the Roku and all that stuff. Can you give us an update on all that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So let's
Hey,
see.
before
I
we
guess
go on to that, can I just, based on that topic, can I just ask anybody that's on the call if there's any volunteers for the management responsibilities?
about you.
We've done it.
We did it. We handed it off to Whitney. Um,
Ah,
and we likely the two voting members here in this household, one is pretty strong that we're selling our share, and the other one is holding out a little bit. Anyway, so we likely will be listing ours as well. But in that vein, right, with Whitney having the responsibilities now, with us still being owners, we're happy to help as well with educating on any of the management responsibilities. I will just reiterate what Whitney said, that these responsibilities have gotten a lot easier with Josh on board. Um, but but if there's no volunteers while on the call today, I would just say Whitney as a follow up, we probably need to send an email just to say we need a volunteer,
Agreed.
uh,
Okay.
because your share is likely to sell soon, and having that overlap's important.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Okay.
I
Hey
could be a
guys,
backup plan if nobody volunteers and someone wants to help me, but I don't want to volunteer yet.
Okay. All right, Rick, you got it.
No, no. Who did I interrupt?
Okay. Anybody else would like to help Rick?
Rick, I was going to say the same thing. This is Kevin, but so I've been in the middle of rebuilding a house that burned down in the Woolsey fire in 2018, and we still have another year to go, and it just occupies every minute of every day of my time. So I might be willing to step up next year if you can handle it for a year. After that, I think I might have more bandwidth. I also think maybe it might be better for someone who lives closer to the marina. I'm all the way out in Southern California. So,
Yeah. Well, it's a 3-hour flight for you and a 6-hour drive for me. Just kidding.
yeah.
Anyway, we'll put me down as a backup option. If no one else emerges, then we'll talk. How's that?
All right. Deal. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. On the Roku, we got everything installed and done, and it works pretty well. I mean, it's way simpler. So, it's connected to the Starlink, so it all streams. There's no satellite dishes. We got rid of 1,000 pounds of old dish equipment and 14 remotes per TV. So now you just have the one Roku remote that turns the TV on and gets you access to the all your streaming services, so you can log in your Disney or your YouTube TV or whatever you want, and away you go. We did on all the TVs. The only one that's a little goofy is the one in the main salon. It just has to be on the right input, and it should stay on that input, and unless somebody changes it, which if you change it, then change it back. And I sent a message out to everybody on the email chain on how everything works. So if you get stuck out there, just search for like Roku or Liquidity and Roku and see if or reach out to me. But yeah, it's pretty rock solid. And then we've installed the Sonos. We finished in September, and you just basically connect your phone to it, and away you go. So yeah, we're good to go. We got big upgrade on the AV.
That's great. And thanks for doing that, Rick, by the way. And I'm sure you're open to getting maybe even a FaceTime or a texting for the owners that are out on the water trying to figure that system out that don't know. It's because I know I've called you and asked you questions, but yeah, thanks a lot for doing that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think it's going to be great.
Yep. All righty. This is an item that has been a little contentious for quite a while, and that is the items left on board the boat. And so we've got different things that are left on the boat. We've got, and I'll start from the bottom and work my way up. We've got stuff in the belly of the boat, underneath the engine or underneath the kitchen. There's people leave stuff in there. I'm guilty. I've done it before, but I know I'm coming back within a couple of weeks, that kind of thing. But I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. We've got maintenance items down there, which we need to keep for spares and Josh and so on. Then we've got the kitchen area, which is we've got all kinds of food in there that we no idea what's really there, but it keeps accumulating. And I've gone through many times and gotten rid of some old stuff and tried to clean up. I put the all the maintenance manuals into that clear bin and organized that a little bit. Then we've got stuff, the stuff in the master bedroom underneath there is an absolute disaster. There are pillows and blankets and comforters and stuff, and Apex just throws that stuff down there, and you can't even get down there. You wouldn't believe how many pillows are down there. I get scared just looking at it. So then we got the second floor, which we've got the closet, which has got a lot of stuff in it. That some of it's needed, some of it's spare, some of it's junk. I don't know. Then we've got underneath the daybed area up front on the bow. In there is completely packed with stuff. I don't even know what's in there. I'm scared to open it up, and because it's heavy stuff. It's could be wet for all I know. It's spiders and stuff. It's just nasty. So I've had several complaints of other owners asking me, what are we doing with all this stuff on this boat? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it says somewhere we are supposed to remove everything off the boat. If you bring it on, you have to bring it off. Just as simple as that. Yes, I know it's a pain in the neck, but that's kind of the way it works. So I need your guidance as to what we do with all this stuff, because I don't want to make the decision.
I mean,
Throw it out.
I think I mean, the operating, I think the operating agreement does say like you bring it on, you bring it off, otherwise it can be discarded. I don't have a massive problem with some of the small, with some of the small items. The one thing that I would say, like under the daybed where the emergency life vests are, that is, it's a safety issue, right? So I think the daybed stuff has to be cleaned out.
Can I jump in? Sorry. I just need to share some information. We're kind of going down a rat hole. We cleaned that out this year. So
Okay.
we removed everything from it, threw a ton of stuff away, reorganized all the safety gear. There's now actually a tremendous amount of space under that daybed upstairs. And we threw away 100 pounds worth of crap and then
Yep.
moved some stuff. All of the paddle boards we moved downstairs underneath the main deck, in the underneath section at the back of the boat by the engine. So there's like, we threw away one that wasn't serviceable. I think there's 4 or 5. We got paddles. So there's like 4 or 5, 3 or 4 working paddle boards now, and they're all kept under the deck at the back by the engines. And there's tons of space up on the daybed. Now, the 2 areas that are a problem upstairs are I don't know what you call it, that kiosk behind the daybed. What do you call that? The helm. There's storage under the helm, and there's a bunch of personal stuff in that, a bunch. And then there's also that storage closet up by the helm on the second level. There's a ton of crap in there. So, and then there's also a lot of stuff that we pulled from the daybed that we didn't know whether we could throw away or not, that we put underneath the boat on the bottom towards the engines. So that's kind of a synopsis. We spent quite a bit of time and effort on this, and it actually is really nice now. There's a lot more room, but there's still more to go. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah, Rick, when you say underneath, are you talking in the cuddy under the, by the salon, the main salon, or?
I'm talking about underneath the boat and what do you call that? The underneath section.
It's
The
near. He put it underneath the kitchen with that little access down there where the
Yes.
it's right aft of the
Yeah, I got you.
water,
Yeah,
the water system.
I just call that the cubby, the cubby, basically the underneath the main salon or kitchen area. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for doing that, Rick, by the way. But okay, so I guess we need to figure out, what do you want to put rules in place? And I can send out an email to tell everybody, if you bring something on, you got to bring it off. Because if I don't, then it's just going to get the the bow of the up near the second deck helm is going to get filled again.
Yeah.
And stuff gets left there, and it might be broken, but nobody really knows what it is. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to pump up something that might not work. So I don't even mess with it.
There were this.
Anybody else have any ideas?
I agree. I think we should just, if you bring it on, take it off. Otherwise, it gets thrown away.
Okay.
There, just to kind of reiterate, there's that helm section up on the top that does need to be gone through. There's a ton of personal stuff, sleeping bags, chairs, tents, and then also in that closet there. And then there are a whole bunch of inflatables that we didn't know what to do with. We threw away a bunch, but there's a bunch left that we threw underneath the deck, underneath the kitchen.
Yeah,
So-
and there was I think most everybody on here is newer owners than what we've been. So the original, we did have, there was, I want to say, 2 or 3 paddle boards that were bought by Liquidity, and so those were community property, if you will, or property of Liquidity, and those were left on. The ones that are still on, I'm not sure if I don't know the genesis of each of those. But I think we just implement or sort of enforce the rules that we originally had, which is you bring something on, you take it off. If there's something left on, it should be Liquidity property, if you will. Those things that we agree that'll remain. The inflatable, we've never said that we were going to buy inflatables, so I would say if you have an inflatable on there, it needs to come off, or it gets thrown away. So it's just when you have a group of 12 owners, if everybody's leaving stuff on, it just gets way too cluttered, and it impedes both safety as well as just fun, right? So
I agree. Does anybody know what happened with the lily pad? We had one, we lost it. We had another one, we lost it.
yeah, it was a new lily pad that we had just bought last year, and then it was on.
It was on in May and off in August.
Yeah.
No idea what happened to that.
It was there when we were on the boat, and that was in June.
Okay. It was not there when I was there. Never saw it. Never got to use it.
Yeah. So I mean, I would be in favor of purchasing, another lily pad or that type of thing, because that was something that was originally Liquidity property.
The only thought I have is a storm blew it off the back of the deck, or somebody stole it off the back of the deck. So maybe we don't keep it on the back of the deck. If we get it again, it needs to be stored maybe upstairs on the deck.
Right. That's a good point. It could have either blown away, could have been stolen. It's too many variables. We got to put our name all over it, and we got to put it up top, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we have enough money, we'll look into getting another one.
Okay.
Okie dokie. The next item is your cathedral package. Please make sure that you pay for your week and your off-season time at the same time. I get an email, and this is usually a little bit later on in the season. I get an email from Antelope Point complaining that we haven't paid our allotted time and we owe money. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So now then I have to track down who it is that hasn't paid their trip yet, because it affects the people behind you. So if you don't get the cathedral package paid and done and put on the books, then the people after you don't get a clean boat and don't get it fuel dumped, whatever. It's like, well, you'll get it cleaned and dumped, but it won't get won't get cleaned, and you won't get your stuff that you wanted to have on it, like water and firewood or whatever. So please pay your cathedral packages and get her done at all one fell swoop. Just get her done.
Quick question on that, just as a new owner, how early can you pay those? Can you pay those as early as now, or does that need to be a certain amount of time before your trip?
I don't have an answer for that. I don't remember, but I haven't submitted the calendar to Apex yet. So this was a little bit frustrating for me because, which brings up a slightly different topic, but this will go into it. Get on the right screen. We had an off-season disaster for trying to orchestrate who was going to go when. It was very complicated because you've got some people who got their stuff in on time at 12 midnight, and some didn't, and some had multiple trips, and so on and so on. It was a jockeying around, and I asked everyone to confirm that their dates were okay. That I spent a lot of time on this. I mean, I spent way more time than I needed to, but I wanted everybody to have a good season. So I spent the time and figured it out, and I sent it out there for everybody to confirm that this was okay, that what I did was okay. And I didn't hear back from 3 people. So I don't even know if they're going. I have no idea. So what I'm going to submit, if you're on this call, please review your 2026 schedule, includes the off season, because I have to forward that schedule to Josh, and I have to forward it to Apex, and there's another entity I have to send it to. 3 people have to get notified of the schedule, and so please get this within the next couple of days. If you're not going to do your off season, you got to let me know right away, because it'll then I got to redo it, which I don't have a problem doing. I just got to redo it. I just got to know.
Hey, Whitney, if
Yeah.
I remember correct, once Apex gets our schedule, I think they they will end up sending an email out to people with a payment link for their week for the cathedral package, I believe, and they have a deadline of when it's supposed to be in by. And also, I don't know if they've changed this since we were managing, but they had notified us that they only had so many spots for cleaning, and it went by priority of people getting the requests in and making the payment. So if they get too many in for a specific turnaround day and yours got in later, you may not get cleaning that day.
That's a true statement. Yes. If you are late, it's based on a first come, first served basis, and they have so many boats that they can process each day. And if you are late doing it, then you may not get the boat cleaned, which means you just screwed the person behind you, because they may not be able to leave the dock for a day because it didn't get cleaned, or they got to make the choice of cleaning it themselves. And if it was me and somebody didn't do that for me, I would be pretty upset.
I would be in favor, Whitney, of you just finalizing your calendar that you would put out.
Okay.
Send that to Apex, and because if we wait for everybody to confirm, we are at risk of kind of getting behind others, at Antelope Point getting scheduled for service. So
If you know who those 3 people are, can we get it confirmed now? Are they online?
Let's see. The Sharps. So the Sharps on? How about John Stones?
I'm on. I sent you an email.
Who's speaking?
Sharp.
Sharp, you're okay with that schedule?
Yep. Yeah, I replied, but it wasn't right away. It was just a week or so after you sent that out.
Okay, thank you. I didn't make a note of that. John Stones? Okay, how about it's Stones just twice. Oh, Schrader's. How about Rick?
Yeah, we were good. I think you had said if I don't get back to you that then we're good, and I didn't get back, so I thought we were good. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, good. So the only person I don't have is Stones, and he's got two slots in the off season. Yeah. Okay. That's dues the maintenance fees are due by the end of this month. That's in 7 days. I put out an email to everybody that it would be grateful if people paid their money ahead of time. And the reason is because the $20,000 insurance policy is due immediately in January, and there isn't enough money to cover the bill. So fortunately, we had a couple people, including myself, put some money in, and I was able to pay that bill in full. Otherwise, there's a service fee that if you pay it in the payment plan, you got to pay a fee, and I don't want to pay extra fees that we don't have to. So it's very beneficial to get the money in sooner in January than later in January, because I got bills to pay. And then I got the slip fee. I have now this year the slip fee is like $19,000 for the year, but they're doing it on a monthly basis now instead of the whole year at once. So that saved me, which I wasn't.
Hey, Whitney.
Yeah.
Should we propose moving up the due date to match when the insurance bill is due?
Yes.
Because it's an issue every year.
That's a great idea. That's a great
January 1st. It has to be in there by January 1st.
January 1st? Does anybody have any objection to January 1st being the deadline for the maintenance fees due?
Do you remember what the due date is for the insurance policy?
Yes, just a second. Insurance. I believe it's the 31st. Well, that's a good question. It's a good question because you can pay a portion of it in January and still be compliant, and then pay the rest of it after that. But you have to get the first payment in with like January 31st. Okay. But then you can pay the rest of it. But I'd rather pay the whole thing at once, because otherwise there's a fee involved for that maneuver. So I think it's January 31st.
I would say just maybe a little, the first is good, but with the holidays and everything, people may not have that top of mind. So I would give a little buffer after that, probably. Okay,
we could do the 15th would be a compromise.
Yeah, I would be in favor of that.
15th it is.
Okay, I am going to put that in motion, and that's going to be in the, I think that's going to be in the operating agreement. Okay. So that's it. That's all I got. That's right in at 1 hour. How about that? Anybody got any questions before we end?
I have two very quick ones, hopefully. Sorry, guys are tired of hearing from me. I would love to acquire a golf cart. It's a game changer when you're loading and unloading, and I'd love one. But what does everyone else feel like?
They just sent out a note on that about golf carts and what a problem they are. Does anybody recall that? It was just, it seems like a month or so ago.
Yeah, they've put new rules in last year, and I think they may have updated them again for this year. I don't think I'm in favor. I don't know, Darren, you can just,
we need to,
just maintenance, more maintenance issues and things. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Rick, have you had a experience with having one before, and what did you do from a storage and sort of handoff, all of those kind of things?
I have a share on Atlantis currently, and it has a golf cart, and we have the pleasure of being able to borrow it when we load and unload for liquidity, and it's just a game changer. And they're simple. The golf carts are way less complex than the old side-by-sides. Anyway, you store it out in the parking where almost like the overflow parking, and you put a key in a lockbox, and it gets filled up with gas at the and it's not a big deal. So, and they don't do the valet like they used to. You just grab the golf cart and then you tell the group where you left it, and someone else picks it up, and away you go. Obviously, we have to split the cost of it. I'm all in favor of doing it, but it just depends on what the group consensus, how everyone feels. It's also
Well, let me
a little
weigh
bit
in a
more
little
to
bit
manage.
on this topic because I happen to know a little bit about it. So,
Okay.
not from previous experience, but I have delved into this before. So yes, there are new regulations that Apex has put in. So some of the carts that are out there are no longer valid anymore, and they have to be compliant with the width and the size and so forth. So that's a restriction. Apex does have a program where you can buy your cart and they maintain it, and you have to pay for that service, and you have to have it that that golf cart has to be approved with a sticker on it and paid for. So there's a fee for that, and the maintenance, and then there's the whatever else they charge. I don't know the fees involved, but I don't particularly like that. Anything to do with Apex, I don't want to have anything to do with. So I not happening for me. However, Josh does have golf carts for rent, and you can rent them by either the trip or by the month. So we could say, and I'll have to ask him what the price is, but he maintains them. He keeps it all. They're all charged up, whatever he's got to do, and we rent them by the month. So you could say, well, let's rent it for a 3-month period, and whoever uses it pays into it. Fine. There is one problem that I find, and that is you show up, you get your cart, you go down, you do all your thing, but you cannot leave the cart down at the dock. You have to take it back up to the top and park it again, which means you're going to have to take the ride service down to the boat again. And then when you come back, you got to take a ride back up again to go get the golf cart to do all your processes again. So there is a little bit of extra shenanigans that need to occur simply because you have this cart.
Yeah, we've
points.
always just been able to order the cart service and have them pick us up and take us off, and that's worked out fine. And then the cart service picks you up when you take your slot in there to unpack, and they're really good about picking you up and taking you down.
The problem with Antelope Point cart service is they take so long to get to me. I mean, I have waited over an hour at times for them to come get me. And I call and I call and I call, and I'm like, what's going on? And they say, it'll be another 5 minutes. And it's 30 minutes later and they still haven't come yet. So it's very frustrating when you're on a time crunch. You're trying to either get on the road home, or you're catching a flight, whatever it might be. Very frustrating.
Well, if Josh rents them, then whoever wants golf carts, why don't they just rent it for their time?
I tell you what, I will find out what the cost is, and then whoever wants to get that, and if they want to do it for a month, then you can reach out to the other owners and say, hey, you want to go in on this cart with me? And you guys can arrange that.
I think that's a great idea.
I mean, I would
thanks for
probably
checking
do
on
that. If it was
Yeah.
me and somebody orchestrated it, I would do it. I would sign up
Yeah.
with you. Because I do like that, having your own cart.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can find out how much it costs and what the options are, that'd be great.
Okay.
And then one last thing, it'll be a little bit of a controversial subject, and I don't mean for it to be, but this is like the first boat where we've not had the ability to go on, kind of the night before. And I know, Whitney, we talked about this last year, and we were actually able to get them to clean the boat like the afternoon before the next day. But because we've been assigned the slot, basically, Friday at noon to Thursday at noon instead of Friday at 8 a.m., that gives them into that next morning on Friday to clean the boat, which means you can't really sleep on it the night before and take off at 7:30 a.m. if you want. So anyway, I'm just curious to know, like, that's a big deal for us. I don't know if it affects anybody else, but it almost gives you like a whole extra day if you can get in the night before, load on, take off in the morning, and have like the whole day out on the lake versus leaving maybe at noon, maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2. You know what I mean? So anyway, I know that that's not controlled by us, but is there any ability to request a different window to even a different day if we needed to be able to do that check on the night before?
That's a great question, Rick. This has been brought up at almost every meeting that we've had. And I totally understand the situation. For me, it's not quite as imperative because I have 10 days to work with, whereas you guys, most of you only have 7.
Which is really 6.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we've come up with lots of different ideas. One idea one year was we have a day in between that's an off day, and that kind of fizzled. we Then the last meeting, I was asked to contact Apex to find out if we could change the departure time. The answer I found out was a not a stern no, but it is what it is, and the time we cannot adjust because we have calculated, or they have calculated, all of the other boats, the hundreds of boats down there, for departure times, for cleaning, fueling, for piloting, all these things. They have calculated when the peak times are. So we can't just put in a request for, say, 1 p.m. or 9 a.m. or they've already got it all figured out. So it's a kind of a sticky situation with them. And our slip agreement, I believe it's even specifies that in the slip agreement. I have to look at that. But anyway, they didn't like that idea. So the issue is you're allowed to get on the boat at noon. Fine. But is the boat cleaned and ready to go? Well, you have to ask yourself the question, has it been fueled? Has it been dumped? And has it been cleaned? Now, I don't have a problem with you leaving early, as long as Josh has done his work, because you got to check with Apex. You're going to have to check with them with the cleaning, the fueling, the dumping. Then you're going to have to contact Josh and make sure that he is on board with that, because he may have some maintenance items that he's doing the next morning. We talked about this 50-hour check. Maybe he scheduled his guys to come in at 8 a.m. in the following morning to do the maintenance check. So there's several factors that you got to check before you decide to leave early.
So all that is valid. At the end of the day, if you have an 8 a.m. early, leave time frame, then you know that stuff's going to be taken care of the day before. So is there any way to just request a different, I mean, can we officially notify the marina that we want to leave earlier that day? We want to change or move to a different day if we need to get that early time frame.
That I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know how flexible Apex would be for that. You'd have to contact Josh to make sure he wasn't scheduled for some kind of a maintenance thing that morning. Then you'd have to contact Apex, and I think a phone call to both people would be in order, and as long as you got concurrence from both, you'd probably be all right.
Yeah, if they switch days on us to accommodate that, then we'd have to obviously do it next year. But if they could change the time for us, which I know is a long shot.
No, I've already looked at the time. I don't the time is not that can't change.
That's not negotiable because again, if you got an early time, then they would have to clean it the day before and pump it.
And
okay, well,
yeah.
So are you saying that you'd prefer like somebody else to follow up on that, Whitney?
Well, I don't.
That's fair if that's what you're asking, but because you're moving on, I get it.
I can't. No, I don't mind doing it, but there's nothing that I can do because I've already reached out to Apex to ask them, can we change the times to a different time? Because someone asked me to do that, to go earlier, and the answer was no. I'm sorry, we can't because we've got this all figured out. So that really can't be done. So the next item would be, well, okay, how about I just figure out whether the boat's ready to go or not? So if you get there at noon and the boat's all ready to go and you're done, well, if you want to take off, as long as Josh is okay with it, and as long as Apex is okay with it, to go.
Well, the more pressing question is, can it be cleaned the same day it's dropped off and fueled, which we were able to get done last year, and then we were able to sleep on the boat and then leave at 8 a.m. Again, that's just it almost buys you a whole nother day.
I agree with you, Rick. It just seems like if they could make sure that when the boat is back at 12, that it gets done right away. And I know there is a lot of other boats, but somehow it seems like, I know we've done this on other houseboats that we've owned, and we're always able to get on the night before.
Yeah.
So I wonder what kind of shift that takes.
It's really difficult to get everything turned around the same day it's dropped off when it's dropped off at noon instead of 8 a.m. We were able to get that done last year. It took a lot of effort. You really have to have someone that gets to the boat early the day before and arranges that. So that's why really the real solution, if you have 15 or 20 people coming down and you're trying to count on staying the night before on the boat, you'd have to have someone down there the day before to arrange it all. So you'd really have to change the time the boat leaves to make it effective. And that's why I was bringing it up, is that even in the realm of possibility, which I'm hearing Whitney say is no, and I get it, but I'd like to push. I'd like things to be our way, not someone else's way.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
That goes back to you being manager. Get on that.
Yeah, Rick.
When we first joined with the boat, it actually was an earlier time. It was 10 a.m. that we had it set.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. Well, Apex is really tricky to deal with, I have to tell you. I do not enjoy talking with Apex. They are a whole different breed of people up there. Well, literally and figuratively, but they are different, and they operate different. They operate on their own schedule. It's quite amazing. And if you, let's say the owner comes back at noon and they're pulling in at noon and you're got your stuff and you're ready to go, and you show up that same day, and you're like, we're going to get out of here. We're going to make sure these guys get it done. Well, if their cleaners don't come on and you go ahead and load up, and then 2 hours later, the cleaners come showing up, and they take one look at the boat and they say, well, you guys are in my way. We're not going to clean today. They take off and you won't see them. So and they won't tell you. They'll just disappear. And so you'll be waiting around. How come the boat's not clean? And then you call them up and they say, well, your boat was occupied. We couldn't get on. And so now you have to make the decision. Do you wait around for the boat to be cleaned, or do you leave and you have to clean it yourself? So it's a very tricky situation. It's because we're not in control of the situation. We don't have it. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I forgot to ask Josh this. Okay, so here's something that's I just found out about 2 months ago. Josh has a lady that he knows that cleans boats. That's all she does. She goes down there and she cleans boats, and she has agreed to do our boat if we wanted it. I completely forgot about that until I just thought of it. She has agreed to do our boat if we want to, which leaves Apex out of the picture. That's still.
I love this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Still have no control over the fueling of the boat. We still have no control over the dumping, that kind of thing. And we still don't have much control, a little bit of control over Josh doing his checks, because I want all the fluids to be checked prior to departure. I don't want that fiasco to happen again where the Apex forgot to put the fluids in the engine and the generators, and they ran them dry, and God, what a disaster that was.
Whitney, this is a home run. Like they'll pump it and fuel it the same day, in my experience.
Yes.
It's the cleaning issue. And here's the thing. When we got on our boat last year, we had to clean the boat ourselves anyway. It was absolutely disgusting after the cleaning crew had come through.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love this idea. It's a 2-for-1. It'll actually get clean,
Yeah.
and it probably gets us a 90% chance that we can enter the night before and sleep on it if we need to.
Right. Okay.
I vote for
Brilliant.
that.
Yeah. I will definitely look into that, which means I need to do this quick because this changes the cathedral package. The cathedral package includes cleaning.
I am
What
all
packages
in.
are those?
I don't know. I don't know what's out there. I'm sure there's one that does not include cleaning. So I got to look into that. I've never dealt with that because it hasn't been part of the issue. But I will definitely look into that. Yeah.
Yeah, because even if we could fuel it, I mean, if we can make sure that it gets fueled when they bring you back, that they take you right to the fuel dock. I can't remember how that went last now, but they used to just take us right to the fuel dock. But we didn't have to have a captain.
In my experience, they drop you off, and then within an hour or two, they take the boat away and go get it fueled and dumped. That's normally the way it goes. No guarantee.
Well, it seems like that would work really well.
Yeah, that
happens. If we
happens.
get the cleaner, just say at 2:00 every day or whatever, when they're done with the fueling, then that solves everything.
It really does.
Yeah. Along those lines, our boat was cleaned, but there was stuff all over the place, and I actually took pictures of it and walked down and showed the gal the pictures, and she says, "Oh, yeah, we'll get somebody out there to clean that up for you." And they came back out, and apparently their vacuum doesn't work very well, so that's why there's stuff all over the floor. So we said, "Go ahead and leave. We'll clean it ourselves." So okay, well I'll look into that, and that's it. That's all I got. Anybody else got any other questions?
I have one last one. Is there a managing company that would manage the boat?
Not that I am aware of.
Okay.
I am sure there is somebody out there, but it's going to be costly. Yeah.
Because I think that's our biggest worry right there. Because you've done such an excellent job. I don't want to go behind your feet, I mean your steps, because you've done wonderful.
Well, whoever takes over my job, I've got more spreadsheets than you can imagine already done up. So I even have it on a spreadsheet of what you have to do and when you have to do it. So it's going to be easy for the next person to take over because I've got all the information on this Excel spreadsheets. So whoever takes over better know how to use Excel. Okay. Well,
I would help somebody. I don't want the full responsibility. I don't know how you've been able to do it just on your own.
I don't know. Just trying to do the right thing. But thanks for your thoughts. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I got nothing else. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Whitney, for all your time and effort. You've been amazing.
You bet.
Thanks, Whitney.
Yes, thanks, Whitney.
See you later.
Okay, bye-bye.